Welcome back to The Top Shelf Literary Editions. This is episode 49. And it just makes me chuckle every time I do the episode 49. That's a little inside joke for the native peeps out there who know what 49 is. And today we'll be doing something on a book on Native Americans. My name is Ernest Whiteman III. I'm a Northern Arapaho filmmaker, artist, writer, and media educator. And we're taking a look at my top shelf of books. I have a pre-selected book. I'll give you a short review, a short synopsis, a review if I've read it, and the reason why I purchased the book. And to fall in line with the 49 theme, a topic that's not so fun, but has to do with Native Americans. Today's book is The Killing of Chief Crazy Horse, edited with an introduction by Robert A. Clark. Now, I say this constantly. Crazy Horse is the only native man that native men are allowed to be in love with. Because the idea of Crazy Horse has gained such a mythological status not only among the Lakota and Oglala, but among Native Americans in general from all across the United States and Canada. Mainly because he led a very conservative life, which people don't talk enough about. He had very conservative values. He wasn't as spiritual as people made him out to be, at least in my readings of things. And but he did follow traditions of his people, and he fought to maintain a way of life. He was one of the few. He only surrendered once, and that cost him his life, which is what this book is about. Now, the death of Crazy Horse, or Tsongkawitko, is pretty interesting in a historical context because there's probably more written about the death of Crazy Horse than there is the birth and life of Crazy Horse, unless, of course, you're talking to his Oglala people or his Lakota people, who have a myriad number of stories about his life. And one of my favorite books, The Journey of Crazy Horse by Joseph M. Marshall III, is one of my favorite books of his about Crazy Horse, because I think it tells a more authentic perspective than most of these histories do. But this offers three varying viewpoints of one Dr. Val McGillicuddy, who tended the wounds of Crazy Horse. There's William Garnett's account, who was a scout, I believe. And then there's He Dog's history, who is a great friend of Crazy Horse. And Larry McMurtry, I think, coined the term, and rightly so, that his adulthood and his warring and his death have had so many accounts that they could almost be considered a gospel of Crazy Horse. And because there's so little printed about his birth and his young adulthood, but it's always the same pieces that get put in history books over and over again that sort of raise them to this mythological Crazy Horse. When we forget that Tsongkawitko, the man, who is as fallible as any man, made mistakes as any man, lived. And so when we're putting up mountainside monuments to him, never forget that what you're looking at is someone's interpretation of Crazy Horse and not of the man himself. Because to me, leaving the mountain alone would have been a much better honor to Tsongkawitko and everything he's fought for. And that's one of the reasons why I bought this book, is I wanted to continually remind myself that reality and history can mesh, but they often take different facets of this jewel we call our history, our shared history. And so that's The Killing of Chief Crazy Horse by Robert A. Clark, is on today's top shelf. Thank you for joining me. I'll catch you next time.